Hi, my name is Anne, and today we'll be recording a commentary over my attempted Raid Sword and Shield speedrun. It's in 249 under TA Wiki rules. Let's go ahead and get some disclaimers out of the way. The way I do my videos is they're all done in one take. I just pause and unpause the video as I go. That's the format. I'll stop to explain things during those pauses. It'll be totally fine. The next thing is that we're under TA Wiki rules, which means that we don't have access to the Palico, no Palico buff either. We don't have traps, mantles, environmental interactions, flash pods, barrel bombs, stuff like that. You have to actually kill the monster. So it's just a different category compared to the more popular freestyle runs. I'm all in on this category at the moment. It's what I'm focusing on, so that's why the run looks the way it does. Third disclaimer, this is like not a super particularly amazing run. The highest, fastest times you could find on this monster are currently somewhere like close to like the 230 mark. But I'm still learning TA Wiki, and I'm just practicing a lot of different monsters and taking the best runs I get from them as my progress and uploading them. So in this run, you're going to see me be a little bit more critical and point out a couple of things about the speedrun that aren't set up super well. But again, going over my mistakes and things that are causing me some problems can be beneficial to my own learning process and maybe to other people out there who want to improve their own gameplay. So let's go ahead and start getting into that actual gameplay and see what the run's all about. First off, you can see the buffs I did back at camp: Mega Demon Drug, Demon Powder, Might Seed, pretty normal. For the set, this is another two-piece full gore, two-piece gore set. Fun fact, you can see all the set stuff at the end. I'm not going to go too in-depth with it because Title Update 1 is coming out, but you can see the set at the end. So I actually have 6 points of Agitator, which is just a mistake. I didn't realize this. So I put the set together on a template that I had built that had all the correct skills, and I just didn't put it together properly. So I'm losing a little bit of damage on the set, but like it's not a super big deal, and I still do the run. Just note that the set at the end of this is like incorrect to what your goals would have been in this title update, and who knows afterwards. The next thing is that when you see a subspawn like this, most runners, if they want a good time, they're just kind of reset because this subspawn's really bad. And a subspawn is when you look at where the monster is going to spawn, that's in Area 10 every single time. We know that. The subspawn is just a few different points in Area 10 it can actually spawn at, a couple of different states it could spawn in. It's spawning in as flying, that sucks. It's spawning in so far away from where I'm starting, it's not great, it's fine. And also, it's being close to this little ledge up here. This little ledge makes my opening gameplay really, really frustrating because I play super safe. And I'll kind of explain that as we go. So just the subspawn alone is going to cause me to lose a bunch of time. It's not causing me to lose enough time to like not have a much more competitive time. I'm just not that good at this fight yet. But it is a factor where if I were to do runs now to try to better my time on this monster, I might just start throwing away subspawns like this because it is just a nightmare to deal with. But this was when I was practicing and still learning a lot about Wiki, just doing a bunch of different monsters, and it's one of the better runs that I have on right now, and it might be worth going over. So the opener's a little scuffed because I don't want to slide in due to the way he's oriented on this ledge, and his head's at like kind of a weird height. But I take the best that I can get, and I look to guard the roar. Guarding roars is generally the thing you want to do because A, you get offensive guard uptime at the start of the fight. I'm inside my ambush window. I want to have as much time as possible with that buff. And B, you get your counter slash. Boom. This is a really high damage move. We love doing it. So that's why we do that there. Right here, I'm playing relatively conservatively and trying to figure out how I want to space myself because, again, this ledge is a nightmare. I don't want to accidentally jump up on this ledge and get hit by an attack I wouldn't have otherwise. I don't want to do an airborne attack and accidentally mount the monster because that's going to kill the run outright. It just really sucks. So I'm doing a lot of really awkward and cagey gameplay here. But again, I'm just trying to get decent runs in and practice this. After Title Update 1, I plan on revisiting it and trying to find a better setup to fight the monster in. But when speedrunners talk about things that annoy them in this game, by the way, we're going to talk about like annoying monster matchups, annoying RNG, annoying structure to get the investigations going. But ledges like this, these are the true nemesis. These are harder to deal with than the monsters. It is super annoying when the arena design is like that. That was a really bad guard. I thought I was spaced correctly for it, but again, it's just a little bit awkward with the spacings I'm using. It's all thrown off by me trying to play around this ledge. I'm blaming the ledge more for me just not being very good at the game, but still, like, that is why I'm playing so awkwardly and cagey here. God, it's so annoying. But During a lot of Ray Dow's attacks, he does a lot of taunts and leaves these really big openings, so that's why I'm able to squeeze in things like Charge Chops more frequently. Charge Chop is our strongest combo option 99% of the time. We really want to be using it. And being able to fit it in on his feet and start setting up some tempered wounds and even regular wound breaks on his feet cause knockdowns, that's great. That's part of the strategy. Now, the hit zones on his feet are absolutely booty, so you don't want to spend too much time chopping feet, but you do want to chop them enough to get the knockdowns for better access to dealing really good damage on his head. But this time he roars, and my positioning isn't super great for it, and I want to keep trying to get these wounds open on his feet, so I opt to use Sliding Slash instead. This is an okay option. It puts me in a position that I'm a little bit happier to be in, but I don't get the offensive guard proc, so it's a little bit of a, yeah, it's fine, but also it's probably more optimal to actually do a perfect guard here. That's okay. Get the perfect guard there. My offensive guard is up. I could sit here and keep trying to block him doing all these little uppercuts and keep getting counter slashes and guards, but I actually have pretty good access to his head anyways, just swinging. I'm already in my offensive guard window, and these windows are so huge, again, that you could just sit here and keep comboing underneath his head, splitting the damage between his head and his feet pretty well. And that's what I opt to end up doing. Right here, he does this little head stab. I could have blocked that, but I'm a bit of an idiot. I'm just going for my charge shot because I felt like it was pretty safe, and I know that this will go through it. But unfortunately, I end up whiffing it, and this is just a huge error on my part. The safe thing to do would have been to actually just stop the combos, block his little headbutt there, and keep going. But it's just a mistake I made. This matchup has a lot of openings where you can go for charge shot, but it also can lead you to overextend a little bit. It's somewhat misleading. So I just messed up. But I'm going to try to recover this. So just because you mess up in a run doesn't mean the run's dead on the spot. Like you can keep going and see if, something good comes out of it, and that's what I opt to do. So reactivate our offensive guard here, get that buff back out at the top, and start hitting the monster straight up again. You can see that I'm opting to keep trying to hit him in the head in between him doing these swing swipes and these taunts, because again, the uptime is just so free here. And he goes down. And now I roll up over this ledge to try to set myself up to not accidentally do ledge attacks and go into Perfect Rush. So I've talked about Perfect Rush before, and Perfect Rush is a slight damage loss. Against Ray Dow, it's even more because his head hit zone's pretty good for the ice element, and Perfect Rush has bad elemental value. But I'm doing this because I want to keep preserving sharpness throughout the run, and I do have an idea to stack some KO if the routing shows up to do the KO. So that's why I'm doing Perfect Rush here. In hindsight, I'm not sure this is the best plan. In particular, because like you saw, one of my KO hits didn't actually hit him in the head, it hit him in the wing. So it's not stacking KO. That happens a lot with Perfect Rush against this monster and makes routing for KO using it quite a bit worse. So in future runs, I'm going to try to tone down the Perfect Rush usage and go for like more damaging combos instead. Right here, I'm opting to try to stay underneath him, and again, this ledge is making things a little bit awkward. Like, there's a higher damage punish I would have liked to go for there, but the ledge is messing it up. But as you can see, we're doing okay. And something I want to point out is charge chop against this monster in these windows is pretty nice, because when you hop up and do that little part, that first hit gets stuck on his head. But like you see all these juicy hits from charge chop are stacking up on his head and wings. It's so lovely to be able to squeeze charge chop in these windows for this exact reason. It's a key part of adding damage to the matchup, in my opinion. Use guard slash here to re-up my offensive guard. Or did I actually get the guard? Let's double check. Let's make sure I'm not lying to you. Yeah, I got the guard. Yep. Ta-da. And see me just continuing to sit under here, stacking damage on these feet. We got both wings open, getting my charge chops in. Sitting underneath this monster doing this, it's pretty free damage. And right here, I'm deciding to just focus my efforts on getting the next knockdown. There it is. Go for Perfect Rush again. This Perfect Rush is a little bit different. I didn't actually want a Perfect Rush here, but when I saw that the ledge was in my way, I was like, well, Perfect Rush is going to reach past this thing a lot easier, and Charge Chop will probably get stuck on it. My other option was to climb the ledge and start doing combos instead, and I just wasn't sure that it was going to line up right with the time. So I am overusing Perfect Rush here, and I'm not really happy to have been doing that, but my strategy at this point is now, well, I'm using Perfect Rush. Let's just keep going for the KO, I guess. But in general, there's too many Perfect Rushes used throughout this run. Once again, make sure I block the first wing so I go into offensive guard and get my counter slash. And now I'm underneath him, just stacking up damage. I'm using chops a little bit more here because I'm not always super confident in going for charge chop. I probably could have fit one in, but the chops reach above my head and still continue to hit his head in a good hit zone. And when I switch to using my higher damage lateral hits, I'm still stacking damage on feet, opening up all these wounds, which are going to give me, more knockdown opportunities later. Right here, I'm willing to cash in on that. Bam, get our knockdown. Go to yet another perfect rush. Again, this perfect rush is bad. I shouldn't be doing this. I should be doing higher damage things. But I'm looking for KO routing primarily because once I've committed to a couple of perfect rushes, I'm just like, well, I'm in a hole and I'm trying to, make lemonade out of the lemons in the situation I'm in. I go for a focus strike there because I thought that head wound would be open. That would be the KO, I'm pretty sure. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen. We get a little YouTube pooped here. He is just colliding with the terrain awkwardly. This arena sucks for fighting this monster, but it's not a big deal. The only thing I lose is guarding this, and he's gonna go into this big overhead dive anyways. This dive has a really consistent timing to perfect guard. It's really easy to do, and you're gonna get a bunch of damage access on his wings and head immediately after he does it, because he always just does a taunt and yells. So, free damage window. Moving myself over, you see me eyeing this wound. That's because I want to actually knock this dude down. He's down. And do another perfect rush. Again, this is getting embarrassing at this point. This is too many perfect rushes, okay? If I were substituting this with charge chop combos, I'd be dealing more damage and potentially killing this monster faster. I am just tunnel visioned on scoring a KO that I don't need to score. KO routing, I think, is good, but over focusing on KO routing is going to end up hurting your overall time, it's going to hurt your damage. It's just not always the best option. So, in general, I would tell a player to limit themselves to like maybe 1 to 2 perfect rushes a run at most. Generally, you only really need the one to get a KO if you're using the upswing blow from Focus Strike, but I don't know. I just this is a problem. This is a thing that I need to improve on. And again, I'm not getting all of my KO on his head, and that's why he's not getting KO'd. It's just hard to do on this monster. It makes the strategy even worse. But whenever a wound opens up on their head, this is a lot of guaranteed KO. So this upswing right here has a bunch of KO built into it. It deals good damage. This upswing is wonderful. So if you get these upswings, that's a better way to try to fit KO into your routing than just sitting here doing perfect rushes all the time and losing all that damage. And to even fall here and do this poorly, this hurts. This hurts me, but again, I'm learning from this. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes too. Close the gap with chops, get a combo out. See, this is the combo I should be using on his head more often. It just deals way more damage. I need to be doing this instead. But that's how it goes. A quick note about KO running against Raydal specifically is that sometimes he'll do some moves where he like shoots the railgun shots at you and then opens up his like big horns and mouth and is like, focus strike me, idiot. You can combine that with another wound focus strike to get a really fast KO, and then the perfect rush KO routing shows up. It's just he didn't do those moves in this run, and I was just being a little bit too silly with it. I just got lost in the sauce. Right there. Probably could have perfect guarded that for more, but I wasn't super confident. And again, I'm pretty deep into the run, and at this point, I don't want to take like big stupid risks because this could still end up being a pretty decent run. So the idea is just to use the sliding slash to get through this, keep the damage up, and then look for the next opportunity to get a perfect guard, get my offensive guard up, get a counter slash in. Boom, there it is. You see me do this a few times against this monster. I recognize here that he's doing his little enraged charge up thingy, and I'm just like, okay, cool, I get a free charge chop here. No matter what he's going to do afterwards, this should connect. Oh, and then it kills him, and he's dead. So that's the run. Overall, you can see the general strategy forming of, yes, I need to be blocking his little wing uppercuts to keep getting counter slashes in, keep my offensive guard up, and then use the extended windows where he's whipping those attacks on me and taunting to stack up some damage, or my knockdowns, kill the monster from there. But my overall routing choices here were just a little bit too suboptimal to really make a good run out of. So this is a pretty sloppy one, a pretty messy one where I make a lot of mistakes. But at the end of the day, 249 is fine. Better times push closer to 230, and I think in TU1 I'm going to aim to hit a 230 or lower as my next target. Hopefully I can get there. It will be a little bit difficult if the armor doesn't improve by a decent bit, but yeah, we'll see how it's going to go. So anyways, thanks for bearing with me through this run. It's not that bad. It's not as bad as I made it out to be, but I'm pretty self-critical and I want to keep improving, so I'm focusing on the mistakes a little bit more this time. That's just how it went. But yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Join me in the next commentary, and hopefully I'll have some more commentary and guides coming after the release of Title Update 1. So see y'all later.